Good evening. We are back in the studio, back in town. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. I had to connect a few things again, so let me know if the voice is loud enough, if the music is okay. And we have another live stream, the first one in November. I hope everybody is happy and well, all creating music. And we did send the last newsletter, and the last newsletter had mentioned that we have some great products which are below $50. One of them is Quad, for instance, and Quad is based on the rack extension. You see it has 4 square fields, and that's why it's called Quad, and it uses phase distortion and wave shaping, and even has even a string model, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's somewhere inside of it. There, here. But this is a very nice Asian harp by Jamal. Very nice preset. Some few X. Very nice. Very nice sounds, which doesn't have band, so here I could add some banding. Oh, and then I could do some lights. Here down here is the string model. So it's a very, therefore it looks a bit different than all other synthesizers because it's based on the rack extension. Some very nice sounds, and I played one of the plucky sounds in this track. So Quad, but we also have Vecto, and Vecto is a it's a bit like a less complicated Blue 3, because you have the XY here and you have 4 oscillators and you can combine them together. It's a vector synthesizer. Is that? Melody Manager, Production Bank. There's a built-in arpeggiator. Lots of cool samples, but also many analog model waveforms, a range of tuned percussion. So it's a very versatile, easy to use synthesizer, because everything you see is in front of you. So there are no multiple different pages. There's only the manager, and the rest you see is visible. Therefore, you see also this pitch band and wheel, because the it's based on the rack extension, and then we made that a really great synth for very, very attractive price. And there's no compromise in terms of audio quality. They have maybe a little bit less features, but they sound fantastic. And of course, we have the Go 2X, which is a very popular product, which is also below $50. Then we also have a range of FX, which are great. So these Unimagic, which we recently released.
And in this moment we find our way, our way,
Here it is. Okay, on the voice. Okay, let's see, ladies sing. Now I put off the bypass.
And in this moment we find our way,
Command control.
our way.
Really very nice to beef up a vocal. So there are very multiple presets.
And in this moment we'll find our way. And in this moment we'll find our way. And in this moment we'll find our way.
Now bypass.
And in this moment we'll find our way. Our way. And in this moment we'll find our way. And in this moment we'll find our way.
Okay, take another preset. There are also basic chorus and flanger, magic room. Because you have to spring
Our
back.
way.
Oh, let's see.
We'll find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way. Our way.
So that's also a very cool product for on vocals or guitar and instruments, Unimagic. So makes the, if you go from one vocal, makes as if there are multiple times that you that sing the part. So let's bypass and put it in.
We'll find our way, and in this
Now it's
moment
active.
we'll find our way.
Makes it nice stereo.
Our way.
Without. Now
And in
with.
this moment we'll find our way. And in this moment we'll find our way. Our way.
Okay, welcome everybody in the chat room. I see people in the chat room. Let me see. Hello, David, the Hug Monster. Sadly not seeing many using your products on YouTube. Yeah, well, it's YouTube, and sometimes you need to pay for them and asking them to use it. So we don't spend money on that subject. We are pretty much ignored on that point. I think we are still kind of producers. So many top producers use our products, and sometimes, yeah, the YouTubers forget that we are very popular among top producers. And yeah, so I don't know what is causing it. Maybe they found our products too complicated. Maybe they don't like it or whatever. But we don't have any complaints about sales. So we're still doing very well with our products, and we have a big range of fans of our products. Yeah, and what we of course mentioned also on the YouTube, not on YouTube, in the newsletter, is that we are working on Raw 2. And Raw is of course an instrument which essentially has the basic idea by two DJs, and several DJs joined this project because they said, well, Rob synths are very nice, great sounding, but we are looking more for something which is edgy. And boy, yeah, Raw became edgy, and we are working on Raw 2. So this is a weird sound. You would expect that in hardcore or hardstyle, but I heard that one even agony in a psytrance track. So it's not only for the hardcore hardstyle, more the harder music styles, but also for other things. And of course, it can sound also very classic. I mean, this is the original raw, and that one still uses the older system from a bank, which means that a bank has 128 presets, just like a hardware synthesizer. But in the next update, it will be simply the single preset. So a folder will then be loaded with single presets because not of a bank file system. So you still have very nice synth sounds. Even a little bit FM. Yeah, some. So that's more the less distorted sounds, but if you go to the other banks by some of the DJs, oh, they can be very edgy. So what we did in the original RAW is that inside oscillator 1 and oscillator 2, we added already the raw component. So let me go to a default preset. Okay, so bank manager. Oh, sorry, I'm clicking wrongly. Bank manager. Scroll up and go to the introduction back. Default. There's a default. So let's start at a default and let's explain the concept. I'm clicking each time the wrong one. So start with a sinus waveform. But in here we have this raw amount, which makes this phase distortion. Or wave shaping, one of them. So this is the raw amount. And then we directly connected the LFO, which is the main LFO. So then you have already, based on a sinus, pretty much a phase distortion sound. Oh, that's my USB is messing with me. Not sure what is causing it. Maybe the in front of my computer I have a very wobbly USB connection, which then sometimes, even if I look at it, starts acting weird. So that's one of the cool things. It's the raw amount, but there's also right away a pitch control. In each oscillator, so you really can. Nice for saw sound. Or you have pulse width modulation, which will work with the square. So you see, you can really go edgy already on the oscillator side. Then you have the filters with the pre-filter distortion, which is here. Yeah, and the LFO, you also can say, on the volume. panning. So it's easy. The main LFO will. So it's a great synth for wobbles. And then what they told me is what they also do is very often these producers use EQ ahead of the distortion. So we have the sound now. Here's the EQ. I can put it on. Even a high-pass filter, and this one is post. And the post EQ is behind this wave shaper here. And you can add even distortion. You see, it goes very loud. Yeah, and then you still have the FX. So here you have the EQ, which is pre-wave shaper, distortion, and lo-fi. And you have a post EQ, which you can put it on. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Then you can make it here, give it a chorus. FXB is stereo delay. Very nice EQ, by the way. Very well coded by John. So that is Raw. Currently, we work on Raw 2, which is going to be released. It's a bit of luck at the end of December, but most likely it will be early January. Raw 2 will have some changes. You will have the ribbon controller, which you already know from a bit 2. Here we have bit 2. Down here you have the ribbon control. And then the presets will be single file. So because Raw still has the older FXB bank, maybe some of you can remember that was the first GST came out with the FXB, which stands for the banks, like a hardware synthesizer bank which holds 128 presets. That's why you see in the bank manager here banks which are fully full, but also some of the banks which still have a lot of empty spots, default places, default it's called. But so these are one bank which 128 places, but then it's not fully added. Oh, play. So very, very aggressive sounds. By the way, I had with this vocal, I had a very nice guitar from Power Chord. That was nice combining. In the vocal, I also had
find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way. Our way.
And then we have, of course, the Refsane. Refsane is also a great reverb, which is also below $50, so it's very affordable. reverb, Refsane. And Refsane has a unique feature which no other reverb has. This is... and that is this disrupt sphere. So if I have the reverb,
we'll find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way.
can do some weird stuff.
Our way.
Oh, there is... Oh, I have a cycle, but that she's not playing.
We'll
Okay.
find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way. Our way.
Yeah, that it can do really some weird sounds. But of course, we also have the Reverb 2, but that one is a bit more expensive, but that has this unique feature of the reverser, which is down here, where it records the reverb sound and then plays it back. And you can mix between the reverb and the this reversed reverb sound. On the other hand, Reverb 2 is also delivered together with RP delay. So if you buy Reverb 2, you also get RP delay in one go.
We'll find our way, and in this moment
You hear the reverse one? And here I can remix. I also can say only reverse reverb.
Our way. And in this moment we'll find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way. Our way.
Okay. So maybe that's a nice thing, of course.
In this moment we'll find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way. Our way. And in this moment we'll find our way, and in this moment we'll find our way. Our
And the guitar is Power Chord, which recently released. Yeah, you can. Refsane can be very interesting for doing some weird things. Yeah, that one again. Doot. USB is spooky one. Okay, let's see. We can see the chat room. Yeah, I should not look at this USB event. I should not look down, because then it gets this weird thing. Yeah, other news. So, Explorer 10 is on its way. Will be at the end of December, early December, and we have this month, if you would upgrade or purchase Explorer 9, you get a free upgrade to Explorer 10, of course, once released. But that's also in our newsletter. 1 second. I had last Thursday my live gig, and I don't have any pictures. Oh, that's a cool one. I don't have pictures of it. My son made some pictures, but it's still on his. It's still on his machine, photograph machine. But let me see if I can show you something. Yeah, I can make it big. Oh, I put on Facebook an image. Okay, let me see if I can show it to you. Here you can see me. Yeah, here you can see me sit down. So let me make this a little bit better, because it's... So this is Facebook, and let me tell you what I used. So this is where I sit down, and there we had a screen where we had some nice animations during the music, but sometimes it only also popped over to a camera which was pointed to me. And you see, I have here one laptop, which is an older i7 with main stage, where I use, or with main stage, you can load in, it's like a rack. So you can make your own super synthesizer, go from one song to another, have different sounds. So there I play many of the synth sounds, pads, lead sounds. And then you see here another computer which is using Cubase and the arranger track. And the arranger track allows me to go from one point to another, or I stay a loop, endless loop, where I can improvise and then go to the next song. So that's in Cubase. That's, let's say, the band in the background. And then you see I have then still here the, for just one sound, I have the Waldorf M with me. I also could take with me the microwave, which has the same sound, but it was a bit easier for me to take the Waldorf M with me, which is Spacey Vibe. And then you see below it, that's hard to see, but there is a um, Korg Prophecy, which has a great guitar sound, which I love to use on stage. Then you see a Take 5 from Sequential, which I also use for I made some nice lead sounds with it. And then you see the keyboard down here, which I use for main stage, the keyboard for the other Cubase. So I use two laptops. And behind me, there's a little Fatty, which I use on some tracks to do some bass stuff, and a Sequential Pro 3 SE, which runs with the sequencer to do some live tweaking. Down here in the back, there is also a Reebok Eurorack. So it's a Eurorack with Reebok modules, which I also tweak live. So it's a combination of computer and live machines, and that's very cool. So that is what I used last Thursday. Therefore, it was there was no live stream. So it was in my hometown. First time that I played in my hometown was very nice. About 100 people. It was really in a cafe, so in a little environment, and it was fun to do. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, you see my live setup, and here you see my mixer. And what I do, and some people think, oh, then you have latency, but I use an RME audio card because I use the FX Sense 1, 2, 3, and 4, which goes to Cubase. So I use then RP Verb and Delsane and RP Delay for the delays. So they come from the sequencer. So I put that with a trick. So I need to, on this track, you need to put on the speaker, just like what I do now with my vocal. And that works perfectly. So I don't use any Outgear FX. I use Cubase for doing the background drums and partially sequencers to send some MIDI to the synths, and it does also the FX for FX on stage. So that's the setup I'm using. So I thought, yeah, let's show that. If you are maybe not familiar with my music, in the description box below this YouTube video, you can find a link to my YouTube music channel where you can find some music from my last album. And from the last album, that was also maybe a bit typical. We did a live stream where I started doing a Berlin School of Music, electronic music, piece of music. And I started that on a live stream, but it went so nice that the parts of it were so nice that I finally made a full track of it. Maybe it's an idea to what I wanted to say. Oh yeah, maybe it's an idea that I play this song at the end of the live stream. You can find it on the YouTube channel. So, but I will play live. It was initially started on a live stream, and then by accident. There were some nice parts, so I really made a full track of it. And yeah, Johan, it was great. Local concert was really, really very nice. Okay, I'm checking the chat room. So the latest news you can read in our newsletter. I linked that one from the on Facebook and Twitter. And then the news is that we work very hard on Raw 2, which will be released next year. We will have then also a new synthesizer, which I don't tell you anything about it. That will be a surprise. And we have some presets, additional presets in Explorer 10. So it's going to be a very nice upgrade. And in normal cases, we always have within one upgrade for new products. Because, for instance, if you have Explorer 8 and Explorer 9 has then Go to X, Albino 3 Legend, Unimagic, and Power Chord as new instruments compared to Explorer 8. And of course, compared to the Explorer 7, there's a lot more. Okay, I'm checking the chat room. Okay, Power Chord. Yeah, and what I mentioned, of course, at the start of is that we have already some very nice overlooked that we have also a range of plugins which are very affordable, like the Squad synthesizer, which is this plucky sound which was used inside. This plucky sound. This is RG of Power Chord. And that one uses also down here, you see the string. And Quad originally is designed for the rack extension. And then people ask, oh, I also would love to use it as a VST or audio unit or a AEX in Pro Tools. And so we also made it a VST. And it's a very nice synthesizer with very many nice sounds. Yeah, you also can do some phase distortion. Bass. So very good filters. Yeah, there are all kind of sounds, ambient sounds, which is nice pad sound. Oh, that's a also FM type. The arpeggiator is, of course, more basic. But the cool thing about Quad and also Vecto, which I showed a bit earlier, everything is in front of you. So there are no subpages. For instance, Predator has maybe over 10 subpages and Blue 3. So, and that is also very nice because sometimes you don't need all these features to get a nice sound. you see some very cool sounds. See different banks. Of course, Jamal made some great stuff, which is in his two banks. Yeah, quad has essentially phase distortion with this oscillators. So we have two oscillators, but you can do phase distortion and wave shaper at once. And it even has this modulation option for that oscillator 1 modulates oscillator 2. So it's a kind of combination. And we call it quad because you have this 4 times XY thing here to change with using the shaper, wave shaper, or phase distortion. Then, of course, we have the traditional filter 1 and filter 2. So it's a combination subtractive with the uses a vocal filter. Yeah, there are many cool sounds. Organ. So it's definitely a synthesizer which is under the radar for many, but it's a fantastic synthesizer quad. It's $49. It's part of the bundle, of course, and it has some great sounds. Pretty unique also. I use it also in some of my tracks. I'm not sure which, I think it was in Space Float where I used it. Yeah, then we have Vector, which is also came over from Reason, and that one uses a combination of subtractive waveforms, digital waveforms, and a range of samples. In the past, you would pay a fortune for such a synthesizer. Some lovely, and that one is main. So many sounds. Moving chrome pad. And you see the XY can be recorded, and it vectors between the volumes between the 4 oscillators. See all the banks. Of course, the brilliant stuff of Jamal. Yeah, cool, isn't it? Okay, guys, so that's what we pointed out in the newsletter, that we have some great products which are very affordable, and you don't they all have the same audio quality. So looking at the chat room. Okay. Then we have, of course, Go to X. Let me see. I'm not sure if I added Go to X instrument. Oh, that's one a little bit bigger, isn't it? Of course, that one is based on the Oh, I do not have any sound. That's a good one. Okay. Hmm. It's based on the original Go 2, but you have with Go 2X the option to draw your own waveform. And of course, we have then also inside Go 2X more LFOs, the mod matrix expanded, yeah, many other things, more filter modes. The arpeggiator has the dynamic. Here you have the step number. Which can be recorded. So the dynamic steps is there a loop you can dynamic change. We have the magic steps, which means that some of the steps can be on off random. It has yeah, a lot of more options compared to the original Go 2. And we even have it, the original Go 2 is now in a computer music magazine special deal. So you need to check computer music on that subject. The original Go 2. Okay. Checking here the chat room. Yeah, if you have a question, let me know. Pointed out about Raw. So Raw 2 will have, see, this one's a little bit smaller. I think here you still can change the size. I think I could go to the 200% size here on my screen. Because originally the Raw is, believe it or not, already 10 years old. Time flies, isn't it? So the original Raw is 10 years ago released. Lucky enough, I don't get older. At least my spirit. Okay, now it's 200%. Okay, it just fits on my screen. Yeah. So nice EQ. A lot of presets by producers who doing this more heavy stuff. More heavy presets. Kicks, of course. Just the back panel, you see some LEDs going around. It looks a bit like the Borg. Yeah, it's a good question. Ribbon controller. Well, on my keyboard, I have it here. I don't see. Oh, okay. I need to make it a little bit bigger in my streaming software so that you can see it. So in the upper corner, you can see my keyboard. So let's. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit hard to see. Move a little bit my inequalities. Very bad. Webcam. I don't know what is causing it that it's so bad, but yeah, see on the left side there's a ribbon controller. This seems to be a ribbon controller from Dubfla, which is useful. And then of course this one is, let me see, still need connected. Let's go to bit 2. Yeah, and of course this ribbon controller, which you can see this little blue thing in the upper corner. You can see it moving, my finger, hopefully. Maybe I should still make it a little bit bigger. Give me a second. Yeah, you see a little blue changing in the color. Don't know why it's so fuzzy, the screen. Terrible. Quality is terrible of this webcam. I'm not sure what is causing it. Could be the streaming software. But that's a ribbon controller. But what we have, of course, with bit 2, with many presets, is that it's bipolar. So you can go left side and then go center. So you can have 2 directions, which is sound, in sound terms of sounds, interesting more. Okay. So I can address this. Let me see. Our right mouse button, latch to MIDI. There it goes. But it goes. But it also goes back. Yeah, you also could use one of the dials to do the ribbon controller. So that's also an option. Because yeah, you see, if you use the right mouse, you can, and then it says, it does say also can clear. Right mouse button. Latch to MIDI controller 11. So this complete control sends out controller number 11. I think it's officially expression. You should be go to the MIDI controllers 11 expression, CC11. So that's the one which is on complete control. So that one is an option. You also have some of the ribbon controls hardware. I think you should look in which can be essentially also maybe bipolar. But here you can, in the controls and down here, you can say bipolar off, and then it's a ribbon controller which only goes to one direction. So of course you need to address. See if I address the ribbon controller to the oscillator to pitch. See what happens. So yeah, that's an option. I mean, it's cool, but you still can use also a dial. So you see here on the keyboard, okay, you don't see it on the keyboard, there's a dial. Now you see the dial. I also could have this dial using for the ribbon controller, but then I need to, of course, go right mouse over this little dot, then clear, unlatch MIDI, and then latch again to MIDI. Then you see it. So that's also an option. And it can be for any control. So now I do clear all MIDI. And this ribbon controller we use very often now. So we started with, I think, with bit 2. Or was it something else? I'm not sure. But for instance, it's also in power chord. So that's cool. So there it controls the... See, the ribbon controller does the AVX2 mix, which is stereo delay. Yeah, isn't that cool, this ribbon controller? So that will be part also of the Raw 2 project in the future. Okay, guys. Yeah, because I played live last Thursday, we go out with some Rob Papen music. Let's play it from YouTube. Or I could play it from my Camtasia, from the video. Let's play it from the video. That's better quality, I think. So and this is the track which I started as a live stream, making a Berlin School of Electronic Music track, and it started so nice that I'm finally used it on my latest album. So give me a second. So I wish you anyhow a nice week. Enjoy creating music, and we catch up next week then again. Um, I need to find the track. Aha. Where are you? Ah, Berlin is way. Here we go. So I'm gonna mute myself until next week, and we go out with Berlin waiting.